Hey, Mud Squad, welcome back to another topic video. Before we get started on today's topic of 20 strategies to develop self-discipline that lasts, please go down below, hit that subscription button and bell so you know when I post a new video, premiere, or live stream. Also, like, share, and subscribe. So today's topic is 20 strategies to develop self-discipline that lasts. How many times have you vowed to improve your self-discipline? So many I've lost count. Only to find yourself failing only a few weeks later. You spend hours creating a beautiful color-coded schedule, setting up a new to-do list app, and painstakingly planning how you will crush your goals. You swear you will wake up at dawn, work out every morning, hashtag hustle and grind, and live your best life. You believe you can have everything you want if you can just follow the plan. Then, as it always does, the one thing leads to another and things begin to go awry. You oversleep and miss a workout. You can't concentrate and start ignoring these pesky to-do lists in favor of listlessly scrolling through cute puppy memes on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or some social media. None of the habits you try to form have stuck, and you're right back where you started from. Cue the shame and guilt, the vow to do better, the obvious planning. The cycle begins again. What if you could actually pull yourself out of the sludge of despair and make it real? Concentrate changes to, your habits. What if your habits could last for the long term and actually help you progress towards your goals? In the guide and tips that I have here, it's going to teach everything you need to know to deeply self-discipline, truly self-discipline and develop it so it lasts. The true key to self-discipline. Here's the key to building self-discipline that really lasts. It's not about which time management app or day planner to use. There are millions and one way to plan and one ways to plan, track, and measure your good habits, but they're all useless if you can't form these habits in the first place. Self-discipline is ultimately a state of mind. If you want to train yourself to be more self-disciplined, you have to shift your mindset and see the world in a new light. This doesn't mean you need some sort of life-defying epiphany. Even stable changes, subtle changes in the way you think can dramatically increase your behavior and help you spend less time doing things you don't really want to do and more time accomplishing your goals. I'm going to cover 20 small but powerful strategies and concepts that will change your mindset and on self-discipline. Sorry, I need a quick taster. Start with why. Why do you want to be disciplined? Ask yourself, what is the outcome of the outcome you want to achieve? You have to have reason for why you're doing this. If you don't have a specific goal in mind, it's too easy to give up when the going gets tough. You simply won't care enough to push through. The desire for the goal must be stronger than the temptation to give up. So think about what you really want, what you really, 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 really want. Do you want to get your work done more productively so you can spend more time with your family? Do you want to build healthier eating and exercise habits so you can have more energy and feel more confident about your body? Do you want to launch your freelance career so you can be a locational independent? The motivation has to come from within and within you, and you have to really care about the outcome. It won't stick if you're just trying to fulfill something you think you should do. What self-discipline isn't? Before you begin on your journey towards building self-discipline, it's important to understand what self-discipline isn't. It's not about becoming a superhuman, productivity machine who never fails. It's not beating yourself up because you didn't achieve more than you did yesterday. It's not expecting that you'll never be tempted to sleep in, eat cupcakes, or scroll through Facebook or any other social media. It's not rigid and inflexible. It doesn't mean holding yourself to impossible standards. Self-discipline shouldn't require a Herculean effect, and it does. And if it does, it's not sustainable. It simply requires a normal amount of effort managed effectively. Um, Remember that your human brain is evolved to be as lazy as possible in order to conserve energy. Smart self-discipline is not about trying to fight that. It's about understanding it and making small, persistent changes anyway. 20 self-discipline concepts, strategies, and mindset shifts. Here are 20 strategies that are helpful for developing self-discipline. Not all of these will be relevant to your unique situation, but realistically, you only need to apply 2 or 3 of these strategies in order to see a fundamental shift in your own capacity for self-discipline. Challenge your own excuses. Argue your limitations and they're yours. Richard Brock. I used to tell myself that I didn't have time to work on my own blog because I work full time as a freelance writer. Um, these are all scenarios from readers that this person has posted. So these are all different scenarios for these different concepts. They said they used to, tell themselves that they didn't have the time to work on their blog because they worked full time as a freelance writer. And by the end of the day, of working on projects for their clients, they were tired of sitting in front of the computer and didn't want to spend more time writing. And then one day their boyfriend pointed out to them that if that was my excuse, I would never be able to have time to build my blog. After that, all my job wasn't going to change. I had successfully argued for my own limitations, so I decided to spend 30 minutes working on my blog every day. First thing in the morning, before I got started with client work. Um, it's a short, focused burst of work, and I do it first thing, so there's no excuse not to. It might not sound like much, but it adds up. I started the habit in November of 2016, and I've kept it up ever since. That means I found time for hundreds and hundreds of hours working on my blog, thanks to a simple mind shift. Try it with your own excuses. And here's a couple examples of excuses here. I can't eat healthy because I don't have enough time to prepare food. Can you prepare a large batch of healthy food on Sunday and freeze it? I can't write a book because I work full time. Can you work on your book for an hour every evening before bed instead of watching TV? I can't exercise. I don't have a gym membership. Can you go running outside or follow YouTube workout videos in your living room? Or in my case, I have workouts on the Wii Fit. You could do that. Daily gratification. In order to build self-discipline, we need to master the art of avoiding the temptation that is right there in front of us so we can hold out for something better in the future. Studies have shown that being able to delay gratification is one of the most important personal traits of a successful people. Sigmund Freud explains that when we are children, we are focused entirely on immediate gratification. The only thing we are concerned with is satisfying our immediate needs of hunger, thirst, and attention. As we mature, we learn to tolerate the level of discomfort in order to achieve greater goal. For example, we resist the urge to go out partying every weekend in order to save up to move abroad or buy a home. Or we resist the donuts in the break room at work every day in order to enjoy the health benefits of a better diet. Every time we choose delayed gratification, we are doing a favor for our future selves. Make choices in advance. When we have to make several decisions in a day, we could suffer from something called decision fatigue. You might start out making smart choices and delaying gratification, but by the end of the day, your ability to choose wisely is spent. Um, this is why supermarkets place impulsive purchases such as chocolate bars by the cash registers, as most shoppers have decision fatigue by the time they get there. Businessmen and politicians such as Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Barack Obama are known for all wearing one or two outfits in order to limit the number of decisions they need to make every day. One way to reduce the amount of decisions you have to make in a day is to make these decisions in advance, so they are not a choice anymore. For example, if you make a large batch of healthy dinners for the week on Sunday and you freeze them, you've decided in advance what you'll eat each weekday night. On Wednesday, when you are tired from work, you'll still make a healthy choice rather than order a pizza due to decision fatigue. Removing temptation. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, turning off self control through steadfast though steadfastly trying to resist temptation again and again, simply doesn't work. Instead of keeping temptation around and trying to resist them, which we are terrible at, why not remove the temptation in the first place? This makes self discipline effortless, as the decision is automatic. If your goal is to be more productive, use Facebook, Feed, Eradicator, and other tools to block social media apps. If your goal is to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. If you're trying to quit smoking, don't stand outside with your friends while they're smoking on a night out. What what you don't do is just as important as what you do. Take a close look at where you are spending your time and energy. What percentage is spent on things that really don't matter? According to this study, the average adult spends 5 hours per day looking at their smartphone. It sounds crazy, but when you think about it, the countless times you check your notifications for a minute or two really adds up. With this in mind, not constantly scrolling through social media on your phone can make a huge difference in your day. Imagine what you could do for an extra 5 hours every day to work towards your goal. Consistent small habits. When young comedian Brad Isaac asked Jerry Seinfeld for advice, Seinfeld told him that the best way to improve was to write jokes every day. He advised Isaac to get a large wall calendar and a red magic marker. For every day he writes jokes, he marks a big red X over the day. After a few days, you start to build up a unbroken chain of red X's, which is a very satisfying feeling. After that, your job is to not break the chain. This strategy isn't concerned with the results themselves. It's simply building a consistent habit. Once you do that, the results will come. Also, it's important to pick a task that is significant enough to make a difference, but small enough that you can do it every day. Focus is a muscle you can build. In his book, Deep Work, Cal Newport writes about how most people lack the ability to stay focused on a task for a significant period of time. To test this on yourself, try to sit down and focus on just one thing. It won't be long until your mind starts to wander and you find yourself checking your phone, notifications, or emails. You can build up your ability to focus by setting a timer and working exclusively on one thing for the set period of time. Put your phone out of sight or on airplane mode and close all other browser windows at first. This focused this focused burst might be only for about 10 minutes. Then you can work up to 15, 20, 30 minutes, eventually taking a short break between each section. This is known as the Pomodoro technique. This is similar to how high intensity interval training, or HIIT, trains your muscles with bursts of intense 100% physical effort, alternating with periods of short rest. After you train it for a while, your focus muscle will become stronger. Nutrition, sleep, and exercise are the key. If you are trying to improve your self discipline and you're not getting enough sleep, healthy food, and exercise, you're fighting an uphill battle. If you eat nutritious food, get some from your physical exercise every day, and get a good sleep, you'll find it much easier to work towards your goals. You'll have more energy, an overall positive attitude, and you'll be less likely to give up when the going gets tough. Like most successful entrepreneurs, um, consulting.com founder Sam Ovens is big on making sure nutrition, sleep, and exercise are taken care of, as he discusses in the sneak peek from the consulting.com quantum masterminds. It's about the habit, not the outcome. Rather than saying, I want to lose weight, say, I want to walk to at least 10,000 steps per day. Losing weight is something nebulous and difficult to pin down. How you're going to achieve it, how will you know when you're successful? Walking 10,000 steps per day is something concrete that you can track and measure. If you focus on this habit, the outcome of losing weight and improving fitness will likely come as a result. So figure out what you want to achieve and think about the habits that would get you there. It's just what I do. In this podcast about building healthy habits, pro blogger, founder Darren Rose, Rose talks about the power of saying, it's just what I do, when he is building a new habit. I walk 10,000 steps per day. It's just what I do. I eat 5 servings of vegetables every day. It's just what I do. One of the reasons why this works so well, because it turns your habit into an identity-based habit. You can tell yourself to get up early or go to the gym or eat healthy once or twice, but if you don't shift your underlying identity, then it will be much harder to stick with these changes long term. In the early days, it won't be, easy to say it to yourself because it won't be true yet. But after a while, it will legitimately be just what I do. You'll start to see yourself as a person who does that thing. So it will become a part of who you are. This means you won't have to summon as much willpower to get it done. It will become natural. Um, you'll start thinking of yourself as the type of person who already achieved self discipline in the habit you want. I'm the type of person who wakes up at 6 a.m. and writes for an hour before breakfast. Um, I'm the type of person who plans out my projects and doesn't procrastinate. I'm the type of person who always eats a nutritious breakfast. I'm the type of person who goes straight to the gym after work every day. Every time you choose to do the action that matches this identity, you are reinforcing it. Every action is a vote cast for the type of person you are becoming. On the flip side, every time you choose to perform a negative habit, it's a vote in the opposite identity. You can improve what you don't measure. You may have heard the saying before, but it's really true. Measuring progress is a powerful way to motivate yourself to improve. Clearly, tracking the things that are important will help you better understand the performance and how you can improve. You can measure anything that you want to improve from minutes spent exercising per week to the number of books you read in a year. Um, you can use an app or a device such as a Fitbit, or you can simply track your progress in a notebook or a spreadsheet or Google Docs. It doesn't matter how you measure it. Um, it's the act of measuring that will make the difference. For example, a budget app can help you track spending and see where your money is going. Seeing how much you spend online, shopping, or late night burritos might encourage you to change your habits. Watching your savings total increase month on month can motivate you to keep going. Remember, you are measuring your progress against your past self, not anyone else. Okay. Eat that frog. Mark Twain said, if it's your job to do, if it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. If it's your job to eat two frogs, it's best to eat the biggest one first. The frog is the big, daunting item on your to do list you're avoiding. If you can face this task first, you can tackle it with a clear mind when your willpower and concentration are at their strongest. If you save it for the end of the day, you'll be tired and more likely to push it into tomorrow's to do list. To prepare to eat the frog every morning, make a to do list the night before. You can use an organizational app such as Trello or Asana, or a good old fashioned piece of paper and pen, or you can even use Google Docs. It really doesn't matter. Place the biggest, hardest, and ugliest task at the top of your list. When work begins, take action immediately and don't do anything else until you've swallowed that frog. The good news is that once you've done the hardest task, you can relax because the rest of your to do list will seem easy in comparison. Do just one push up. Stephen Grice writes about how he overcame his resistance to work out by telling himself he only had to do one push up. Just doing one push up took all the pressure and anxiety away. Of course, once he was on the floor and did that one push up, he did several more. Then he was already warmed up, so he did a few other exercises as well. One simple push up turned into a full 30-minute workout. This technique really works because sometimes one of the hardest parts of doing something is the initial push to get started. We often avoid something difficult because we're thinking about how daunting the complete task is. So, reducing it to something tiny can help you get started. Tell yourself you only need to do one small thing. Once you get started, you'll end up doing more. This can be used for developing self discipline in any area. You can tell yourself that you'll work on your blog for 10 minutes or that you'll read one page of a book every day. Don't worry if the micro goal you set for yourself is embarrassingly easy. That's the point. The key is to choose something that is easy, um, that you can't say no. You don't need permission from anyone. If you're waiting for approval from others, don't. Building self discipline means that you will need to learn how to find that approval within yourself. So many of us are holding back on working towards a meaningful goal because we are worried about what others will think. Once we let go of this need for approval from others, we are free to follow our goals and work on what is important to us. But you do need a supportive environment. Surround yourself with positive people who believe in your dreams, encourage your ideas, support your ambitions, and bring out your best side. Roy Bennett. Okay, I know that in the last section, they wrote about how you should forget about getting approval or permission from others when working towards your goals. However, um, you don't want to get the idea that having support from others isn't important. A support system of people who believe in um, you can be, be um, incredibly valuable. Ugh, I couldn't spit it out. When you are improving your own self discipline and striving towards a difficult goal, surround yourself with people who want you to succeed. This can be harder than it sounds because sometimes friends and family can say deconstructive and discouraging things out of jealousy or feeling of inadequacy. Sometimes they might even encourage you to give up on your goals or tell you that what you are striving for is silly, pointless, or impossible. Instead, seek people who are genuinely happy for you when you achieve your goals and who will cheer you on towards the finish line. Budget your energy, not your time. When do you do your best and most focused work? Everyone has a different uh, circadian rhythm. Some of us are more alert and active in the morning, while others get a burst of energy at night. I'm more of a night person or mid afternoon to night. Um, I know that I need to get my most important tasks done before the afternoon or evening. Otherwise, my ability to concentrate will begin to just go to the wayside. Um, Working in the evenings is usually my best time. Working in the mornings is really pointless for me. Um, so I usually find that usually 2 p.m. on is best for me. Sometimes I'll work till like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Um, those are my productive hours in the day. Think about the time of day when you naturally have the most energy and plan your schedule around that. Of course, if you have a job with set hours, you might not be able to choose when you work, but this is still might help you make other decisions, such as whether you should go to the gym before or after work. Punch the clock. You will have good days and bad days, but what matters is that you show up and you complete the habit. This is often referred to as punching the clock. If you've made a goal to hit the gym every morning before work, there will be some mornings where you feel tired and you won't have your best workout ever. It's still incredibly important to follow through and go to the gym on these mornings anyway. Um, it's not the occasional amazing workout that makes a big difference in your health. It's the cumulative effect of many workouts over time. Sticking to the habit over the long term is the most important thing. When you catch yourself cheating, um, I'll be perfectly honest with you. There will be a moment when you'll decide to cheat on your own plan. If this ever happens to you, you're either superhuman or a liar. If you've committed to counting your calories, you'll eventually eat a cookie and decide not to log it. If you decided to turn off notifications while at work, you'll eventually decide to sneak a peek at your email. If your plan was to run 5 miles, you might find yourself giving up and walking the last mile. Um, does this mean you're a terrible, no good person who will never amount to anything? Absolutely not. It means that it's time to re examine your habit and figure out, why are you tempted to cut corners? At this stage, you might need to adjust something else to help yourself get back on track. For example, perhaps you don't have the energy to complete a full run in the morning because you aren't getting enough sleep. So, going to bed earlier might be a solution for getting your run goals back on track. Or you might be giving up out, or you might be giving up out of boredom. So choose a new routine, or downloading some podcasts to keep you entertained while you run might help. The only thing you should not do in this situation is lie to yourself. Don't tell yourself you're doing a great job when you know deep down you really aren't. Being honest with yourself about your own progress is difficult, but it's essential if you want to see real improvements. This is this is a chance to understand exactly what is holding you back so you can adjust your course and keep going. Trust in a good habit. When a behavior becomes habit, we stop using our decision making skills and instead function on autopilot. Therefore, breaking a bad habit and building a new habit not only requires us to make active decisions, it will feel wrong. Your brain will resist the change in favor of what it has been programmed to do. The situation, the solution. Embrace the wrong. Acknowledge that it will take a while for your new regime to feel right or good or natural. Keep chugging along. It will happen. Jennifer Cohan, 5 proven methods of gaining self discipline. Jennifer explains it well. Once you set a good habit in motion, you need to trust it will get you closer to the outcome you desire, even when you feel like quitting. Last but not least, don't accept perfection. People often say that motivation doesn't last. Well, neither does bathing. Excuse me. Um, that's why we recommend it daily. Zig Ziglar, last but not least, don't expect yourself to perform perfectly every time. If you hold yourself to an unachievable standard for perfection, you'll only succeed in making yourself feel inadequate. When you fail, forgive yourself, get up, and move forward. Make it your motto to never miss twice. That means that if you miss one workout, it's not the end of the world. But don't but you're not going to miss two in a row. If you don't write 500 words this morning. You're guaranteed to do it tomorrow morning. Slipping up on your habits doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you're normal. Successful, improving self-discipline is not based on never making mistakes. It's all about having the grit and determination to keep persisting and improving over long term. Next steps. Self-discipline is like a muscle. It doesn't explode overnight. It grows over time with consistent work. You don't need to master your discipline today. All you need to do is begin implementing a single one of the strategies we've talked about out and take an incremental steps towards growing your self-discipline muscle. If one of your primary goals for establishing self-discipline is to become more productive, you can check out guides online on how to become more productive in every area of life. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope some of these help you out. Um, Please go down below, hit the subscription button and bell so you know when I post a new video, premiere, or live stream. Also, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.